Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Aswand Cruickshank here, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, former Division I college football player, and current five-time published author and educator. We are here another Wednesday, back for another Wednesday's Wintrapreneur tip. All right. Again, a term that your boy, yours truly, has coined, Wintrapreneur tip, sort of giving light and paying homage to the concept of being an intrapreneur. An intrapreneur, a person that has a job, is working for a company that they really are aligned with, their visions, their passion, their entrepreneurial bug that hits everyone. You're working within an organization that's aligning with those values. That's the definition of an intrapreneur. And I've taken that concept, given my football and my sports background, and turned it into a wintrapreneur tip, a term that I've coined. And be on the lookout. I'm not supposed to be talking about this now, but be on the lookout for a book coming out on just the concept of being a wintrapreneur in itself and all that kind of stuff. So back again, as I am every single Wednesday, giving you a tip on just the idea and the concept of how I have developed a lifestyle in the whole wintrapreneur concept, given all the jobs and the things I've done, especially growing up in the Caribbean, growing up in a Caribbean household, having a Caribbean family. We're known to have like 10 and 15 jobs at a time. So, the whole idea of being a wintrapreneur, being an entrepreneur, is something that was hitting me before I even knew what the term meant. So what I do every single Wednesday is I come on here and I speak to you in a kind of a calm tone, because I know normally you're used to seeing me right after a run where the endorphins are high and I'm all fired up and things like that. But now I've learned, as opposed to trying to give you a tip or just give you wintrapreneur ideas every single one long sit-in, I decided to break it down into a weekly basis and just give it to you in bite sizes and bite sizes and bite sizes. So before I get into today's tip, you know where I gotta send you. Gotta send you to makeyourmove.com. Makey, that's MakeYamove.com. Go get you an NIL bundle, which includes all three of these books. First one is the Six-Figure Athlete, Converting Your Skills to Cash. I actually partnered with 10 other authors on this very book, and understand this. Every time I think about this book, every time I talk about this book, I want you guys to understand that you're always one injury away from your athletic playing career being over, finished, you can no longer play. It happens. I know it's kind of dark to think about it, but understand that it is the reality. Always have something in place, always have a backup plan in place. And that's what this Six-Figure Athlete is all about. Next book, Make Your Move. Make Your Move, a unique look into boxing, dance, and entrepreneurship. I make the bold claim in this book that both boxing and dance are going to be are the two best activities for you to do in yours to make yourself better for whatever your main sport is. And final one, Transferring D1. This is the most recent book, and it is directly a response or a way of thinking. It's a practical guide on how to navigate the chaotic world of today's college athletics landscape with NIL, with the transfer portal, and how just flaky the whole system is. All right. So you get all three of these in your bundle, in the NIL bundle. Get all three of them for yourself or for an athlete that you know on the collegiate level, or at the high school level, or at the youth level. It's for all three levels: high school, youth, and collegiate, and pro, to be honest with you, because the ones that want to go pro, the 1% that does want to go pro. All right. So all that out the way, let's get into today's wintrapreneur tip. All right. It was actually my first attempt at a job. I didn't actually get this job when I applied for it, but it was my first attempt. It was when I was still in high school. I was going to be either a junior or senior in high school. And back then, when I was in high school, I would wear a lot of hats, a lot of fitteds. I mean, I was Mr. Fitteds, just the ball caps. I just loved them. I loved wearing them. I wasn't a big fan of just letting it ride out with the fade and all that, even though I do look good with the fade and everything. But just having a lot of ball caps, me being a sports guy and all that kind of stuff, that was kind of the style and stuff back then. So I thought it was a great idea. It was a great idea to actually go and work at a company like Lids, right? Because I get to, learn about the hats and all that kind of stuff, and then be able to get paid doing something that I love because I love the product and all that kind of stuff, right? So I applied to go work at a Lids. And I got as far as to actually getting going on the job interview and work. So the job interview, the way the job interview worked is that they have you on the floor and then they test you out to see how many hats you can sell and all that kind of stuff. That was kind of part of the job interview and stuff like that. So I'm just going to walk you through that entire day because even though I didn't get the job, there was still some lessons I learned within that day that I still apply to this very day. Just little nuggets that I picked up just going out and being productive and being someone that was willing to go work this job, right? Especially because it was a product. The products that were being sold were something that I personally was very passionate about, right? So first of all, I first told my mother that I was gonna be going for a job interview and all that. And she spent about, it was close to, could have been a whole hour of her just telling me what I needed to wear, how I needed to look and all that. And that's when I first had the experience per se in terms of, it felt like a husband and a wife getting or a wife getting their husband ready for a job interview and all that. So that was like my first experience of, working and having a working relationship with a woman, right? Which is why to this day I don't even consider a woman if I'm interested. I don't even consider a potential suitor if you're not in the same line of work or you're not trying to work together with me and create a partnership in which there's a money making thing going on. So that's just the way I was learned. That's how I learned to be in a relationship with women. Is my mother spent the whole hour getting me ready, making sure my tie was on point, making sure I was set. I'll never forget that because when I finally got to Lids, the manager of the store, he looks at me, he goes, "Oh my God, dude, you overdressed." That was the first thing he said to me. So I spent the whole hour, getting ready. My mother make sure I have a tie on, make sure I have like, Nilla folders, make sure I'm good. And then it's the first thing the guy says to me, he goes, "Man, you overdressed. Jeez, you going too hard." Because this is lit, it's not like you got to be in a suit and tie. They're selling basically workout or urban wear and stuff like that. Dude is in a backwards hat and he's, in a white tee, maybe just some khakis and some sneakers. That's all he was in, right? So anyway, I finally get there and he didn't even remember that he told me to be there at that time and to, that he was going to go over the interview or whatever. So it was something that caught him off guard. So because I was there, because I was overdressed, he just said, "All right, look, I'll just have you kind of work the floor and see what you can do, and we'll be in touch." So I pretty much just had that day to work the floor, just like you said, and see if you can sell some hats, see what you're all about. And this was again, I want to say. Can't remember. It's either juniors going into junior year or going into my senior year in high school. I can't remember. I think it was senior or junior. I can't remember, but all I knew is I remember I actually took the bus to get to the mall in which the Lids was at, right? So I get there and then the manager sends me out on the floor. He goes, "All right, look, just go out and sell, just do your thing. I'm gonna just kind of watch you from a distance, see what you're about." He gave me like maybe a 15-minute training of what the whole lids thing was all about, like telling me the difference between authentic hats and the ones that were brand new, the new eras, the ones that they wear on the field and all that kind of stuff. So he gave me a little bit of a training, a little bit of a sales training, but for the most part, it was just about me going out and getting stuff done, right? So the first thing when he finally lets me loose and tells me what's going on to talk to the customers, the first thing he does is he goes, no, the first thing I do was the first customer I saw. This is what I said to them. I said, "Hey, are you looking for anything in particular?" The main question that you normally get asked when you're browsing around the mall and all that stuff. So as soon as I asked him that, the manager pulled me aside. He goes, "Hey, come here, come here, come here." He pulls me aside and he goes, "All right, so never ask them that. You got to ask them." And this is the tip I want to give you guys because he goes, "Never ask them something like that. Ask them something like, do you want the blue one or the red one?" Like basically ask them something that they have to say yes or no to. Don't don't just, "Are you looking for anything in particular?" But ask them something that they have to give you a different answer than yes, than no. Yeah, yeah. That was it. That was it. It's coming back. Yeah. He said, don't ask them something that they can just say yes or no to. He said, ask them something that they can't say yes or no to, that they actually have to give you a specific response. That way you don't get the hard yes or the hard no. So the question that I needed to be asking him was, A, are you looking for the yellow or the blue hat? Or are you a do you want the blue Dodgers hat, or do you want the white Dodgers hat? You know, something that they can't just say yes or no to, because now let's say he says something like, all right, I want the white, I like the Dodgers, or I want the blue Dodgers hat. I get to ask him, okay, are you a Dodgers fan? Or, you know, who's your favorite player? And then that starts to create a conversation in which you can flip and turn and then give him more options. And then that increases your chance for the sale. All right, just by that one question that I asked, right? Now, like I said, I never actually got this job at Lids. However, just that one day learning what I can learn, picking up some gems and just picking up certain things to ask when it comes to a sales conversation. Now I can, you know, whether it's this or whether it's this or whether it's this or whether it's some of the other books or some of my other services that I offer, I can now approach people that are in that world and sort of ask them, what are the elements? What are the things? Not something that they can say yes or no to, but that's what builds the conversation. Now they can come on the show, on my podcast, on the YouTube channel. We can have a conversation. We can, you know, figure out other ways in which we can service and work together, all because of that one simple question. All right. So that's actually today's tip. Don't go out, especially when you're involved in high ticket selling, you're trying to sell anything. Never ask a question. Never ask a question that someone could just say yes or no to. Ask a question in which is going to lead to a different answer than yes or no. And then, you know, you're able to create a conversation and then gather what you need to gather whatever kind of information you need to gather in order to make your move and, you know, maneuver around and see if it's the right prospect. All right. Again, do this every single Wednesday here for you. I have a ton of experience, ton of working experience. This is what I'm all about. If you want any more information on what I do, and if you want me to come out to your place of business, to host a workshop, whether it's a workshop, keynote, to address your staff, to have them thinking like entrepreneurs and all that, the main website to check out is makeyamove.com. It's MAKEYAMOVE.com. Hit the tab that says Move Swiftly Speaker, and then also you can hit the tab that says two tabs. There's one that says Move Swiftly Speaker, and then there's one that says Innovative Teamwork. Both of those very, you know, it gives you all the information. You could also go to aswandc.com, where all my testimonials are, where, you know, tons of people have been on the show and all that kind of stuff. Just look me up. You're not going to meet another Aswand Cruickshank, and all the information is there. All right. All that being said, fellow teammates, continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.